我在小学，我的名牌写了我的华文的名字，不是我的英文的名字，所以很多在小学的朋友他们都会问，为什么这是你的名字？因为他们以为我不会讲华语，而且不是新加坡人。If I go to a hawker center and I'm ordering food, I'll probably use Singlish, and part of it is also switching to maybe Malay or Chinese as well. 汉哥，一个碗汤米干的，不要辣的，大包，谢谢。
My oldest daughter will tell her friends, I'm Nigerian. Then her friends say, no, you don't look Nigerian. I say, yeah, you see my hair? And then she will also tell them, yeah, I'm also mixed Chinese and Indian.
Which fried rice you want? You want the Nigerian one or the Chinese one?
Chinese one.
Oh, Iris, are you excited for swimming later? Hello, 我的名字叫 Rosemary， 我是华印混血。我的2个 grandfather 是印度人，2个 grandmother 是华人。我的老公是 Nigerian， 我们有2个孩子，他们在新加坡读书。我的大女儿是10岁，我的小女儿是5岁。In my birth cert, I am identified as Indian because, the last time we followed the father's race, right? So both my grandfathers are already Indian. So naturally, my parents will also follow Indian. So I also had to follow Indian. I can't put Chinese in there. There was no dual race last time. None of my family members spoke Tamil. We spoke Chinese and mostly Singlish. Regarding which race I identify with more, it's very difficult for me to identify with one because when I go out, people will ask, hey, what race are you? When I say Indian, who believes me? If I say Chinese, who believes me? I felt like an alien when I do it. Oh, what am I? My children, they are mixed Nigerian, Chinese, and Indian. Raising them as mixed bloods is not an issue because they are the 3rd generation of mixed bloods in my family. So we are kind of the pros. My oldest daughter will tell her friends, I'm Nigerian. Then her friends say, no, you don't look Nigerian. I say, yeah, you see my hair? And then she will also tell them, yeah, I'm also mixed Chinese and Indian. She only realized the difference when she went to primary school because she saw me signing the form. And I have to show it to her. You cannot give up Chinese, I'm going to write and declare that you will take Chinese throughout.
鸡花板车
Say, yeah, I'm supposed to take Chinese. Why do you need to declare? I say, that's the way it is, because your race is not Chinese. It's not written in your birth certificate, so I need to declare it.
我如果明年6到6了，我今年10岁。They do sometimes say that I'm a Malay. They think I'm a Malay, I'm a Chinese. Then I'll tell them 恭喜发财，红包拿来。
所以我小的时候，我的头发不是现在的颜色，是比较红色，所以比较像外国人。我在小学中，我的名牌写了我的华文的名字，不是我的英文的名字，所以很多在小学的朋友他们都会问，为什么这是你的名字？因为他们以为我不会讲华语，而且不是新加坡人。当时我回答，这是我的华文的名字，因为我是新加坡人，出生在这里，然后从小到现在都是在新加坡。
Hi, 我是刘淑英，我是泰山的妈妈。Myself, I'm Singaporean. My husband is Canadian from Montreal. And we have 2 children. Maya is 21 at university in the US. And my son, Bo, is 19 and in national service.
我开始服兵役的时候，因为我看起来也比较是像外国人，通常会有很多人会讲一些笑话，叫我像昂摩，但是I don't take offense to it， 因为我认为他们只是像要说一些笑话，而且我也会对他们说一些笑话，所以在那个过程中也成为了比较好的朋友。I think in NS, it's preferable if you use a Singaporean accent. So like usually when I'm talking to my friends from NS or from local school, then I'll switch to a more Singaporean accent. But then once I start talking to maybe my family members from Canada or most of my international friends, I'll switch to an accent that maybe they can understand better.
How was Chinese today?
Good.
Good. So, okay, tell me what you learned in class.
We got back our Chinese learning and I got 10 out of 16.
10 out of 16?
Yeah, it's a pass.
It's
8
Oh.
is a pass.
Oh, okay, so you pass.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I would say we face things outside of school. Like for example, in public places, we were queuing up. And this father was telling the daughter, hey, look at the hair, very, very big, right? And the daughter said, yeah, it looks nice. And the father said, yeah, turn her over, become mob. I know that I can't stop this from happening. I did share with them. Sometimes people do not understand our culture, but don't get hurt with what people say because of their knowledge. So if you want, you can share with them or tell them. If not, just let it be.
So when the kids were born, I always wanted them to understand where I came from. And so they went to local kindergarten and local school. And they had Mandarin every day, which was very good. And after that, when they were 12, I wanted them to understand a different perspective. So we swapped them into the international system.
So my first few months at an international school, I felt quite alienated and also not sure how I can fit in. And I felt quite connected to my Singaporean friends. But over time I learned to embrace both sides. And yeah, now I think I have the best of both worlds. With a lot of expats in Singapore, there's kind of the stigma that they're not very integrated into Singaporean society. So a lot of my international friends don't really have the same understanding of Singapore that I do. So learning to share this world with them, help them understand more, was a big part of it for me.
Why'd you cut it like that?
到了21岁，要选如果我是要新加坡或者加拿大的国籍，在这一方面我还是花了很多时间来考虑哪一个是比较好，然后两方都有利有弊啊。但是我想要长大以后可能要回到新加坡来做工，然后如果要想 start a family， 我还是认为新加坡是一个比较好的地方。我从来没有考虑过 skipping NS 或者跑去别的地方，为了不要做2年的服兵役。我也认为服兵役是一个很有意思的过程，我在这2年也学到很多东西，然后最好的也是可以 keep my passport.
I think it's a very natural progression, and the kids were born here and have lived most of their lives here, their whole lives here. So I felt it was quite natural for Maya to choose to be Singaporean. And my son is now in the national service, so I would expect that would be the case as well.
For choosing their race to be put in the birth certificate, because my race, I could only have Indian in it, no Chinese. And I don't want the Chinese part of their bloodline to be lost if I choose to put just Nigerian and Indian in their birth cert. So I just put Nigerian. So when I put Nigerian, they are forced to remember their roots from the Indian and Chinese paths. And also, you see, when I put Nigerian, it's hey, this person is Singaporean, pink IC, but also Nigerian. So, people will take a second look at them. For Nigerian, yes, it's a little bit more difficult to have it in Singapore, but we do it through food. Food and music. Our dinner, usually we have together. Usually, yes, we have Chinese food and Indian food.
What do you do?
And sometimes I'll bring over Nigerian food. Desserts like a puff puff. It's a bit like a donut. So they are open to all these cultures. We actually also have community friends who are Nigerians as well.
I feel like growing up in Singapore is a bit of a challenge, finding your sense of identity as whether you believe that you're a Singaporean person or an expat or an international person. I've come to terms with that and I feel quite confident with who I am as a person, understanding that I'm part of both different groups and that actually they're not very different. Yeah.
I feel that there's still a lot to do for mixed families and mixed children in Singapore because it's very difficult when it comes to other families on what they think of your kids when they're mixed. I think over time, if with more awareness, the issue will die down. Not completely, but I feel that it will die down. I would share, get to know us. We are not very different, Under our skin, our blood all run red, right? The more we know about other cultures, the more we are able to respect each other.
for you